All right, good morning, GPM. Welcome to another day of our April devotion. We're going day by day in the Gospel of John, and today we're in John chapter 8. So if you have a chance to read it, please do so. Okay, John chapter 8 is interesting because from verse 1 to verse 12, historically, this portion, the woman who was caught in adultery, historically, that portion, a lot of scholars says it was added in, a lot of scholars says it was edited, but regardless of what it is, I think it really does speak and resonate the truth about who Jesus is and the mercy and grace that he bestows on this woman. But today we're not going to go on that. We're going to meditate actually on verse 31 and 32. Let me read this for you guys. Verse 31. And then Jesus said to those Jews who believed him, "If you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Right, so let's think about that for a second. What is truth and what sets us free? In this day and age, you guys might be thinking, oh, my freedom is taken away from me. I can't go out. I need to have a mask. I can't go to school. I can't do this. It feels like we are restricted in what we do. And do we call that a lack of freedom? Maybe. But here are 4 different points, these things that will let us know whether we are free or not. So number 1 is you do what you want, what you don't want to do. That is, you are forced, there's a constraint, and there's a pressure. If you're under that, that's not freedom. Number 2, you have the desire to do something, but you don't have the ability to follow through. If that's the case, you're not free to do that as well. Number 3, you have the desire, you have the ability, but there's no opportunity, right? In a sense, that means you're not free to do that as well. Number 4, you have the ability, you're able, you're willing, you have the desire, but if this opportunity all comes in, and if this, whatever you're doing, destroys who you are, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, then that necessarily isn't true freedom. And that's where we come into today's message, is that only Jesus Christ can make us free in terms of true freedom. We have the desire, the ability, and the opportunity to praise the Lord and to continue to know him, and that was going to set us free. The more we know Jesus and the more we walk with Jesus in our life, the freer we become. I'm not talking about freedom in a sense you're allowed to go outside, you're allowed to do this or that, but to get eternal freedom, to have freedom that is forever, eternal. That is the type of freedom that Jesus is trying to teach us. Chapter 8 is very interesting. You're going to see a lot of Pharisee and Jesus going back and forth. They're talking about, you know, the Father, who's my descendant, Abraham, right? And that's basically a power struggle. The Pharisees are trying to pinpoint Jesus, trying to make him, trying to ask him who he is. And Jesus continually says, you don't know me because you don't know my Father, right? My Father is the one who sent me. I am the Son of God. I am God here. And the Pharisees won't have any of that. They refuse to believe in the truth that God and Jesus is proclaiming to them, and their freedom is taken away from them. They are in bondage to the law, and they're bondage to sin and slavery. And so today, when you get a chance to read chapter 8, keep that in the back of your mind, and continue to ask yourself, who is this Jesus, as we continue down John, or the Gospel of John. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.